You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got some special guests in the building. We have Boots Riley. Good morning.
What's up?
Terry Crews. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
And Omari Hardwick. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. What up, New York? What
How's
up,
everything?
They are all here promoting Sorry to Bother You. I saw the film last week, Boots, and I need to ask you one question.
All right.
What the fuck did I watch?
You watched some crazy stuff. Hopefully we don't give away any spoilers, but you saw some crazy shit that's different than the other movies you've seen.
100%. You know what threw me off is I didn't realize it was science fiction.
All right.
Because the trailer didn't give me that.
Cool.
So as I'm watching it, I'm like, all right, what the hell just happened?
Well, give us a brief of what the movie's about. Because watching the trailer, I've seen a little bit, but then
I don't
want to
say it without give stuff away, so I'll let Boots say.
Yeah. Well, so I say this. It's an absurdist dark comedy with magical realism and science fiction inspired by the world of telemarketing.
You got that shit
Called
man.
Sorry to Bother You.
Yes.
You know, it's funny. Me and Charlamagne got into an argument. I don't even know if Charlamagne remember about 2 years ago. My first job was telemarketing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was similar. When I got there, everybody in there was making money, but me, because I was from the hood. So I had to put a white voice on.
Oh, yeah.
So my name is Rashawn, so I had to change it to Sean.
Yeah.
My last name is Casey. So we were selling fuel. So I was like, hi, this is Sean Casey. I'm calling from Pelco Fuel. How are you doing today, sir?
That's it,
That's
bro.
wonderful. Yes,
Yeah.
I can save you a bunch of money on your home heating bill. And it worked.
Yeah.
worked.
And that's what Danny Glover's character tells to Lakeith is it's not only that you're sounding white, it's this idea of what white is, where you don't have a problem, where it's where it's like you don't care about everything. Everything's cool. Hey man, I don't need any money. Because here's the thing is that even whiteness is something that white people perform. This whole thing, we always looking at, what black people do and how people put on, perform in this way and do that. But white people are doing that too. But their thing is countering, is supposed to be the answer to the racist black tropes, about black folks. Oh, the only reason we poor is we make mistakes and, all this kind of stuff. So their thing is, I'm making $19,000 a year. I'm middle class. I have no problem. Even though that ain't middle class, but it's this whole idea of what racist tropes are used for is to, that's to make white people associate with the ruling class instead of with other people that might be as broke as them.
Yeah, and I just don't ever agree with code switching because I don't ever want to marginalize my blackness. I feel like my blackness is great.
Well, you are in a position where you don't have to, right? Like some people, I'm sure, if you would have told that to
17.
him, when you told that to him while he's at the job, and it's like you could make more money or not.
But he pretends to be Dominican sometimes. Too.
I'm not
it's
Dominican.
Weird. It's weird with that guy.
He thinks because I wear white jeans, I'm Dominican. I'm not Dominican, bro. It's just not.
Terry and Omar, y'all been in Hollywood for a while. Have y'all ever had the code switch?
You know what's interesting? I think it's sort of it's a marriage between the two. Your point and Envy's point, Charlamagne. Because in reality, the character Ghost is code switching constantly, but without changing the voice. So I think more so that's what you mean, that you don't want to have to do. I think, if you think about it, President Obama is code switching, but again, his voice and his diction and his articulation and the tonality has basically remained the same. I would say Sidney Poitier, Denzel, Harry Belafonte, the same. So Ghost code switched to me in a very physically adjusting to the environment type of way. He can almost work every room because of his IQ. So if code switching is your brain, then I think we've all had to do it. But I've never had to do what Boots has asked my character and Lakeith's character and Danny's character to do in life. Never with my voice, no.
Terry, what about you?
I've always just been me. It's kind of made me who I am, made my career. It made me an activist right now, which is kind of wild. Because when I look at, you look at Hollywood, you look at, what the whole thing is. It's kind of like what's happening with me, even with this whole Me Too thing. I'm gonna bring it up because
let's talk about it. Yeah,
I really want to talk about it. The big deal is that they are actually asking me to accept the fact that they want me to accept to myself that I'm less than a human being. They literally want me to sign off and say, I am less than you. What you did to me is okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay to do that to anybody. In fact, you get so, and this is what happens in this movie, is it's addressed on a social level, it's addressed on an economic level, these things are addressed politically. But when you're talking about this whole thing, is people are trying to trick you into damaging your own self-image. Because if you do it to yourself, you already in a cage. And the thing is they do that by spreading shame. They do that by spreading these kind of things to make you feel, the fact that this man feels like, look, I'm gonna just tell you the rules. You work anywhere, you go to work, you should not be molested. Whoever molested you should be fired. Mm-hmm. But they don't think that. They're like, oh man, are you what kind of person are you to think you're even worth saying something? Like, every dime I spend on my case actually is increasing my own self-worth. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing. Now, one of the other things is that I'm supposed to punch him out, because that's the whole trope that we've been taught. I mean, here I am, 240-pound black man, played in the NFL, the whole thing. The trope is now I'm a big violent man. I'm supposed to just, and I had even black men coming at me like, hey man, you supposed to go knock his head off. But the thing is, and they're like, man, your career ain't even all that for you to be, letting your balls get felt on and all this stuff and not do nothing. But this is the thing. My family is all that. My wife is all that. My kids are all that. And I had to look at
most
the
importantly,
big
you got to feel like
picture.
you all that.
The big right. And the most important thing, I know who I am. I know I'm a father. I know I'm a husband. I know who I am as a human being. I know how much I'm worth. And that affects everything. And for one, you should never, ever, ever be treated as less than a human being, ever. And that's
what did your wife say in that moment? Because she was with you. Did she say you just gonna let him grab your balls like that?
She was the one who trained me. She said, first of all, 3 years earlier. See, you got to understand, y'all got to look at the whole picture. A lot of times the whole picture hasn't been taught. I've knocked people out. There have been people who've been knocked out. And a lot of people have seen the wrong end of what I've done. And she pulled me to the side and said, you can't do that. You can't do that. She said, we'll lose everything.
Yeah,
she said, Terry,
we
you
be
are
having
a
a whole
target.
different
I go
discussion
through that
right
too.
now.
That's code switching, by the way.
I go through that too.
That's a different type of code switching.
In terms of home checking you for that kind of thing. Because we can't, there has to be an edge to a black man in America. It's very interesting. What in Hollywood it tends to call what we have dangerous. And if a white boy has a level of whatever, they say, oh, it's edgy. It's edgy. It's edgy. So the code switching is ironically at times embracing however they deem it to be. And you put it wherever you decide to allocate it. You need my danger for this role? Cool, there it is. You call it what you want. It's dangerous with you and Terrio. Okay, over here, it's just enough edge. So it depends a lot of times on the writer and the story and what we're stepping into. But you're right. That is code switching.
I want to add to
here's
this.
the thing.
Well, just real quick, because the thing is, if somebody yells, if a white guy comes up to me and yells at me and calls me a nigga, and the whole thing is, okay, I'm supposed to hit him, I'm supposed to smack him, but the thing is, I would only get angry if I really felt I was a nigga. But I'm not a nigga.
Sometimes you got to show them that disrespect will be met with disrespect.
That's a show. See, but what you just said, that's a show. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it's like if somebody come up and call me poor, I'm like, I'm not poor. I know I'm not poor.
So
I wouldn't even get angry.
How do you teach them not to do it again? How do you teach that guy who grabbed your balls or the white man that calls you a nigga not to do that again?
That's a good question.
First of all, what I'm doing right now, a lawsuit, straight up. I didn't give up. I didn't give up my lawsuit. I'm spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend myself, to be the plaintiff, because this is what everybody's got to understand. If I hit him, I'd be in court anyway. You understand? I'd be spending this money anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what people don't understand. I would be straight up the defendant. Because if I knocked him out, you think they would have had any sort of mercy on me? They would have had not one bit of mercy on me. So the whole point is, now I flipped the script. They're like, he didn't do nothing. Well, why are you even suing? And then I'm going, man, because I'd be here anyway. This is money I'd be spending anyway.
And then here's the other thing is, with that sort of thing, would you still be getting jobs? I'm new to this.
So
rhetorical question.
You be a violent black man, so they might not, want to use you in different films.
So no matter how powerful, how many many pounds you lifting, like that money has a whole bunch of power over us.
Yeah.
How did you feel when Russell Simmons is said to drop it?
Wow.
I'm not.
The whole Russell Simmons thing?
Yeah.
First of all, me and Russell don't talk like that. Why are you emailing me? Why are you emailing me? You see, this is the thing. Everybody want to be, now you my buddy, now you my friend. But see, this is what y'all don't know, a lot of people don't know. Russell hangs with them guys. Russell hangs with Adam Bennett. Russell hangs with Brett Ratner. I know what the whole thing is. You ain't gaslighting me. I'm from Flint, Michigan. All these cats, man, oh, well, you didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that. No, nigga, I know exactly what you meant. And you calling me, talking about give this brother a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Right. Nobody. And I'm like, why are you even emailing me? We don't hang out together. We don't do nothing together. I don't know what you're talking about, man. And so, but the fact is, and I saw it for what it was. And believe me, when it first came out, I ignored it. When he emailed me at first, I ignored it. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I got zero tolerance for this thing. I'm like, wait a minute. You say you got zero tolerance, but you told me to get a dude a pass when the dude did it to me. I said, that's because abusers protect abusers. This culture protects it. They protect each other like that. And I'm like, I have no tolerance for it, because this is the thing. The thing that you serve is also the thing you got to eat. That's the real deal. And if you serving it, you one day it's going to come back to you. And even whatever you want to do, you ain't getting away with it.
What you say?
So even if it's dick, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
This guy. Now, have you seen people not mess with you because of this, or has you noticed that at all?
Oh yeah. Well, first of all, I walk in and now the room is split down the middle. It's cats like, oh well, man, I got to go this way, and that's good because I would have never worked with you anyway. Man, look, like I said, I am me. I've always been me. It's weird because there have been times when I did things and I wasn't black enough.
Right.
There's times that I did stuff and they called me, oh, you selling out. Or you do Friday after next and they're like, oh man, now you down. But I'm going, wait a minute, I've always been just me from the beginning.
Right.
And always just been Terry Crews.
I saw people victim shaming you, Terry. They were like, oh, Terry always got his shirt off and he always flexing his abs, or Terry's played gay roles before, as if that justifies that man grabbing your balls.
Whatever, man. I mean, listen, again, the arguments are ridiculous. That stuff is ridiculous. I'm just dealing with the facts as they lay. You cannot do this to anybody else. Anybody. No one. And the problem is, and this is the thing, if you don't protect the women, it's happening to you. They're coming after you. I'm trying to tell you, I was standing there and I'm going, wait a minute. It's got to the point where they tricked everybody into thinking it's part of the job. You're like, no, it's not. You ain't, hey man, this part about being in Hollywood, come here. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And you know what? I will be the first one always saying no. And I'm gonna tell you, it's just about to hit the music industry. It's been hitting. I tell people all the time, this is not a witch hunt, it's a fumigation. Because if you've been acting like this for a long, long time, I'm done. I grew up in the culture, man. I grew up in pimp culture. I know what it is. I know the molesters. I know them. You go to church, they're there. You go to the hood, they're there.
Everywhere.
I mean, I know these cats, and they try to gaslight you and make you think you all out. You don't know what's going on. Man, look, you in church, they try to turn you out. You on the street, they try to turn you out. I've been up there. I seen it. And I know it. And I see them cats that I remember when I was 14 and walking around. I'm in school and a grown-ass man's like, look at that ass. I'm like, wait a minute, ain't you 50? Ain't you 50 years old?
He said that to you? Look at that ass?
Yes, and I'm 14 years old. And I'm like,
no, I don't think he was talking about him. He was talking about the girls.
No, what I'm saying, he's looking at women that
oh, I was like, damn, Terry.
I'm sorry. I know. Let me clarify.
You've been getting it for a long time.
But what I'm saying is, I've seen these kind of abuses.
Right. Got you.
And people feel like that's just part of being a man, but it's got nothing to do with being a man.
Now, what made you guys take the role in this film? Because watching the trailer, I only seen a small part of it, but it seemed like it's a little high. You had to be a little high to watch this, or you had to be a little high. Like, I'm watching part of it and it's looking sane, and then all of a sudden I see a guy with one eye come out, and then a white guy with a gun. So, what made y'all do this film?
It was, it was interesting, and it was dope as hell listening to Terry just break all of that down. I'm like, this is a different interview, because I watch you and Envy. I mean, you and Maine all the time, but in reality, the depth of which we started this interview, a lot of that was the reason that I chose to do the movie, because underneath all of the stuff that you say you might need some herb to really get through, underneath is like a freaking incredibly detailed story about that which we go through in this country. as it pertains to, as Terry said, social, political, socioeconomic, gender realities. If we want to talk about our lady in heroic proportion, that being the character played by Tessa Thompson, she's like the hero of the movie in many ways. So it just it for me was very clear when I had the first conversation with Boots, this man to my right. I was in Italy with the family, finally vacating off of Promoting Power with Curtis with 50.
I was in Italy too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I wasn't on the phone.
This nigga was in Oakland, and he was in Oakland, and he had this conversation with me, and he told me, he said, particularly your role, and we're gonna create this thing where there's no real name to your character. Be Mr. Just Mr. And I thought, damn, that's different. And he brought up Toni Morrison and her, figuring some of that out through a book that she had written, and I thought that was brilliant. And I thought, well, what do you mean about my character sort of being this? He said it's unidentifiable because he's still he knows a lot. I decided to do the one eye patch with Boots' permission because I think he's all seeing, even though you think he's only seeing with one eye. So he's a guy that's kind of in the midst of maybe being called a sellout, but at the same time, he actually knows what's going on. Yeah. Next to Army's character, which represents the man in America, like, no, get here. This is where you want to get. To Terry's point, Hollywood says, this is where you want to get. And you might go, nah. So Lakeith's character is kind of going against that. And the fact that I could play this conduit, this bridge between the two, and not really be a sellout, but actually be the one that had the information, that's what specifically attracted me. But then the fucking cast. Yeah. Danny Glover, this man to my left, who I've known for 17 years now. We both come from ball. Terry used to watch me when I was on stage, making my butter as a theater actor. Lakeith Stanfield, one of our great young actors. Tessa Thompson, who I know forever. Yes. Army, Jermaine Fowler, Stephen Young from Walking Dead. Once Boots said, okay, here's the cast, he didn't get through 3 people before I said, fuck it, I'm in. This is incredible.
And all of these folks, they play a character unlike you've seen them play before.
Everybody,
and I think that's what attracted, one of the things besides the whole story and the whole concept was that I wanted people who were going to be stretching, Well,
Lakeith is always somewhat interesting.
Weird
is somewhat.
He is an interesting character.
He's always stretching. He's more of the most rubber band like.
Yeah. Do you think artistically, when you address issues like racism, is it more digestible to do it through the lens of horror, like a Get Out of science fiction, Well,
I think for me, everything is everything. Like I don't like. That's with my music. Some people like it, some people don't, because it's got everything that I'm interested in it. And with this, I don't, there's no one genre, let's say Get Out might be more of a horror movie or something like that. This is like everything, because it's how we talk. We're like, what's your life? What genre is your life? I don't know. Is it drama? Is it, tragedy, or is it comedy? Yeah. It's all of that.
Well, it's interesting that you felt sci-fi, Charlamagne, because when I first watched it, trying to watch it as a viewer in Utah at Sundance, Terry and I were there together with everybody else, I didn't see the sci-fi. Then I watched it again in Dallas with Boots and Erykah Badu.
Well, obviously.
They don't try to add the graphics yet.
No, but then I saw sci-fi.
I
didn't see it.
I'm
saying I think I was looking at the acting and the storytelling. And so from the actor's perspective and the slowness of each character's development,
got you.
I didn't see the sci-fi. Then when I watched it for the second time, I was like, oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things in it that technically make it sci-fi, but we're not handling it from, with all of these genres, there's all these rules. Oh, with comedy, it's supposed to be this. With drama, it's supposed to be this. With, sci-fi is supposed to be this. And you hit all these things. But I just, I wasn't trying to get a job as a filmmaker. I was trying to make a film that I wanted to make. And I think that's what makes this film different, is that some people are like, I want to show them that I can make movies. No, I want to make this movie, and I want to make other movies, but I want to make movies that I want to make.
I heard it took you a while to get this done.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you think about it like this. It's a rapper with a script.
Yeah.
Who wants to read that?
And this is before the Curtis Jacksons and the Donald Glovers and those guys, right?
Yeah. So I finished writing it the first time in 2012. We published it on McSweeney's publishing as its own paperback book in 2014, and went out to 10 or 20,000 people. and then
But
got
you
into
added
the
characters,
Sundance
right?
Labs.
You added characters since the.
No, we changed the name of your character. But it's all it was all there. Matter of fact, I mean, I reduced it because when you first write your script, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna show how good of a writer I am. So everything is like clever, especially if you're a rapper. Like, oh, I'm gonna show what I'm good with at, Like, and then you do a reading and you're like, oh man, and then you cut it all down. So,
do you think that the movie makes light of real life situations like racism?
And it's supposed to. Like, that's how it's not making light of it. What it does is it makes things more ridiculous to show the contradiction clearer. That's what we do is we heighten contradiction. And that heightening of contradiction happens in two places. When we analyze something, we show the contradictions to show how society functions. Like, even if you're doing a college lecture, you heighten things and exaggerate to show the contradiction. That's exactly the same thing that's done with comedy.
Yeah. I always wonder if the people who are supposed to receive the message in this film, which would be the oppressors, the white people, do they receive the message?
I always wondered the same.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm not making I'm not under the feeling that the way that we make social change is we beg oppressors to change. And by oppressors, I'm talking about the ruling class. That's not, so that I never even thought that about, because I've been an organizer, all that kind of stuff. That's not been what I do. The way that you, in my opinion, the way that you make change is you force someone to have to choose between, you're going to make less money or you're going to make no money, And so this film is not about, talking to someone with power and hoping they see more. It's about talking to each other.
Gotcha.
Now the title "Sorry to Bother You," where did that come from? Is that the telemarketing part where you start?
Of course, you got to say that. But it's also, you start out saying "sorry to bother you," and of course you are not sorry. It's just, what you say. But it's also that talking about the idea that when we see something, when we are used to the status quo and somebody tells us, wait a minute, it's not really like that. It feels annoying. It feels like somebody's bothering you, and so that's the whole thing is like there's something that is being touched on here that might not be comfortable.
When I first got with Boots about this movie, we basically talked about where we were from, him being from Oakland, I'm from Flint.
Well, first of all, let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
The way Terry is talking on here, that's the way he talks all the time. I went and had this meeting with Terry Crews the first time I met him, sat down at a cafe. We talked for 2 hours. I didn't get one word in.
So are you saying you don't want him with you on your preference?
I didn't get one word in edgewise, but he gave me this 2 hour long motivational, inspirational speech telling me that I could do anything I want in life. I left there ready to work out, build a house, start a pyramid scheme.
Sorry to bother you.
So yeah, I just wanted to say what really happened when we
we talked deep. Let's say I talked to him deep because apparently it wasn't a conversation. But we talked about Flint, and my thing is, when he was talking about Oakland and the whole thing. But when we were talking about, you were talking about the just exaggerations. But what's so wild is what's real life seems like an exaggeration. Flint still does not have clean water.
Yeah.
After all that election, after all that Democrat, Republican, all that, they didn't come back. And there was trucks of people. My man Russell Simmons brought a truck of water to Flint, Michigan. You know what I mean? And they still don't have clean water. The problem has not been solved. And this is crazy. And this is one of those things where do you beg the powers that be to help you? Or do we talk amongst each other? And do we have to fix it? We have to find a way to fix this problem ourselves.
Or figure out a way to force their hand.
Yeah, because in that situation it's difficult because you kind of got to talk to the powers that be because they're the ones that got to come in there.
You got to talk to them, but the question is, are you talking to them saying have some pity, or are you saying, look, we're about to shut down your industry right here until you. And this is also some of what the movie is about.
Thank you.
I know you guys got to go, but I got a couple of questions.
I don't got to go. We can stay.
Oh yeah, I got to go.
I want to know. what is it? Vanessa Carlton. Do you ever get tired of that song?
Never.
Because that is such a classic scene from White Chicks. Do you ever get tired of people coming to you? You ever get tired of that?
Never. I don't understand people who get tired of their own stuff. I don't understand. I'm so tired. I'm like, no. I just keep doing. But see, the thing is, I never stop working. See, when you have that, and then you put Everybody's Chris on top of it, and you put Brooklyn Nine-Nine on top of it, and you put all these other movies on. You put Sorry to Bother on top. I'm satisfied. You know what I mean? Now, if it stopped there, I'd be tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
got
a
you.
good point.
Now, Omari, did you have a problem taking this role since you are very much Ghost to a lot of people, and it's hard to see you in any other role? Because every time I saw you on the screen, I was like, there go Ghost.
Yeah, there goes Ghost. I see him out there. I'm like,
You
yeah,
ain't even
Ghost.
see the movie.
I said, no. I said, when I see him out here, I'm like, there's
Oh.
Ghost. You're always Ghost.
I mean, so I'm always Ghost to you? Like I have inability as an actor? Or I'm always Ghost in your mind?
See, you Ghost right now. See, you see it.
I know. I had to back up. I was
Like I'm not.
You want nobody? Or you want nobody?
Yeah, is that what it is? Like, should I just do Power for the rest of my career? Should I, Envy?
No. Here's the thing:
But
is that people don't give him as much credit as an actor
Brilliant
because he's so good in
He's
that
that
role
good.
that they think he's not acting.
You're right.
And this man is a poet. He's man. I mean,
Yes,
he's
amazing.
He might be buff and might knock you out if you do something, but he's a hippie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like.
I feel like man, I'm an amalgamation of Terry Crews and Lakeith Stanfield.
Wow.
What a coincidence.
I'm very
that you're in a
much
movie with them.
I mean, if you think about it, but think about it, Envy. I played a homosexual AIDS victim married to Janet Jackson
What Tyler Perry movie was that?
for Color Girls.
That's
I played.
right. I
I mean,
remember that.
there's 15-year career.
you're
It's
right.
just so funny. People go, it's like,
man
I
has
guess
done so much.
once
That's
Ghost
that's
happened,
a character
it just
they love, so that
it just
Yeah.
rah, and
That's
it's like
cool.
it's pretty fascinating.
I was
But
Damon
also,
for
I've
like
never
6
had
years
any-
do
straight.
this movie is because
Yeah,
It's
because I've
showing
never
that he
had
does
any. I mean,
something
I did
else.
Shot Caller, right? I did Shot Caller season 2 with John Bernthal, and
it's funny.
Shot
with
Caller.
Patton-
I'm a warden in Shot Caller. Then I don't know. It's just one of those things where I have to remind everybody, but guys, I'm an actor.
So,
Like,
so
I
when,
think-
when,
I think
when
it's
Patton
a-
Oswalt does his white voice. David Cross does Lakeith's white voice. And when Patton was in the
Patton made me sound
studio
good.
doing it, he was like, so this guy isn't going to get mad at me and want to fight me. I'm like, well, first of all, this is film.
Yeah.
And then second of all,
No, but I
he's
want
gonna
to
wanna
say
hug you.
I want to
That's
say this
about
to
what it is.
I want to say it to Envy. You asked that, right?
No, I asked you.
Charlamagne asked. I want to say because it's a lob. It's a lob. It's like Charlamagne just gave us a Derek Fisher night. I don't remember what year, but this is my opportunity to slam it home. Charlamagne and Envy, but Charlamagne for sure, because I find Charlamagne to be the deep poet of the group. Charlamagne knows the talents of Omari. Charlamagne even knows that I'm fucking with music. He knows it. So the lob is, you gotta keep strategically doing things that get you away from Ghost, but it's scary, or is it not scary? And I go, Charlamagne, it can't be scary because if I'm a novice, to Terry's point, then maybe it's scary. Because my bread and butter is this thing. If I'm Michael B. Jordan's age and I do Ghost, But if I've done all these things preceding Ghost,
Yes.
then God bless Netflix.
Yes.
Because you'll go back and go, oh shit, there was a lot of shit before.
Yes.
God bless you, Netflix.
Yes.
So now that I've played Ghost, which is a beautiful testimony to the security of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and going, I think I know the right person for the part. He could have fucking picked the wrong person for the part.
That's true.
And I don't know if we have a show like this.
Right.
So for 50 to be that secure and to get Courtney on board and to get stars behind it, then it makes Charlamagne, it makes Boots, it makes Envy, it makes Terry go, well, even as his brother and as his friend, this nigga was the right pick for this character.
Yes, he
Because sometimes we can't not see him.
Yep.
But in reality, if you're the right pick for whatever Sidney Poitier was the right pick for 4 to 5 times being the right pick, we don't really have an opportunity to celebrate Sidney as a legend or the icon that he is if he didn't do very good all the other things that he's done. So we all want the same thing, you know. I majored in journalism. I was in the world of Envy and Charlamagne. That was my major. But I always heard God saying, yeah, but you're a storyteller. So Charlamagne and Envy are still limited as to the way they tell stories, But satellite, for example, has allowed y'all to be not as limited.
Journalists or agitators?
You know what I mean? So I think as Ghost, if
bit of
he's
both.
the journalist that's stuck within the parameters of what we know him to be, then it does tell on brown people as to how wide we see and how wide we don't see. But what's ironic about it is Ghost Envy is wide as fuck.
Yep.
So you'd almost think this guy has to be a really wide actor because
Yes.
Ghost is 35 feet
Yes.
wide.
Yes.
So it's just that there's so much width there. I think Boots makes a great point by going, it's hard for folks to see all the different ways that O's getting to the basket if it's analogous to basketball, since coming off the playoffs, if he's Ghost, because Ghost is getting to the hoop so many different ways. It's the code switching that Charlamagne speaks of.
So
Remember
what I'm
when
saying.
everybody thought the Fonz, the dude that played the Fonz, was like that?
Henry
And
Winkler.
then-
Winkler.
Then you start seeing him, you're like, oh,
You're like, Miss
why you show
And a
us?
lot of people, Charlamagne, like Ghost more than Omari. You hear a lot of people going, I like Ghost. And it tells on them. It's like,
Yeah.
you needed a guy 75 feet wide to play a guy 35 foot wide.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If your friends are saying that, then something's wrong.
It ain't my
But they
friends.
should know you.
It ain't my
Like,
friends.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
yeah.
saying that young social media world,
yeah,
Charlamagne.
They asking to rap.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Damn, I got more questions.
Well said.
Well, I'm sitting with Boots tonight.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
doing-
you meant you want me to rap.
No, you can do that too.
All right.
Can I ask one
Don't
more
look at
question?
me. Don't look at me.
Boots
Boo.
about to rap, man.
You know, Boots used to be in a rap group called.
know,
The
yeah, I
Group.
know.
I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
am. We did the. A matter of fact, I'm on the radio. We did the soundtrack to the movie.
Yo,
which
you
is
taking the
coming out
time.
in July.
Yo,
too.
you taking your time,
Did you ever
rap.
get around to killing your landlord?
No, that was metaphorical. I've had landlords that have been very good to me. Let me be 10 months behind on the rent because they like my music. So,
Really?
but that is that was a metaphor for this system. Listen to
Sorry
the
about
Shotgun
you.
Sonata from Personas Non Grata with a plot to rock harder than the second Intifada. I do drink fire water, but I'm more like higher water and will slaughter your armada. Inform your scholars that our alma mater squalor, so my squatter pull your collar at your black and white gala. With cannon fodder for dollars, both under Trump and Obama. I don't remember the rest, but check this out. Every death is an abrupt one. Every cop is a corrupt one. Without no cash up in the trust fund. Every guest won a +1. I forget the rest. Man. I've been in this directing
All
world.
right.
So
Well,
You
sorry
remind me
to
of
bother
Cat
you.
Williams, Boots, man. You get that a lot? Envy's face.
well, here's the thing.
you rapping
I
about
would take that as an insult, but I think
not an insult.
no, I mean just because people like.
Hey, New York,
know,
thank you, Envy Charlamagne. Huh? Thank y'all, man, for having me and
Omari.
Terry and Boots.
Terry Crews.
But
Hey.
yeah, I mean,
Smiley, appreciate
if
you
I
guys
if I
for
could do
joining
the
us.
things that Cat Williams has done for entertainment, then that'll be cool. But,
You on your way?
You know, we'll see.
When's the movie come out?
July 6th in select theaters, July 13th everywhere.
July 6th, go check out Sorry to
Thank
Bother
y'all.
You.
Bother You.
Humble to be
And
here.
we appreciate you guys for joining us.
Thank you, man.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Envy.
guys.
Thanks,
Dude,
Charlamagne.
no, dude.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.